When referring to this town, I prefer to call it the Mosi Tunya. Hey, there's just something indigenous about calling it the Mosi Tunya than saying Vic Falls. And I was really a proponent of let's take it back and call it the Mosi Tunya. Let's call the town Mosi Tunya. I know there's a school there that's called Mosi Tunya. However, I then heard the president then explain that if we call it the Mosi Tunya, people are not gonna come to visit, which is sort of like valid because people now know it as the Vic Falls. But I do think at some point we need to take it back. Towers, it's called the Mosi Tunya. Welcome to my informational video about visiting the Victoria Falls. Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Maud Chifamba. I'm a chartered accountant living and working in Zimbabwe, staying specifically in Harare, and I make videos about careers, mainly chartered accountants, because I want to give you all this information that I come across. I also make videos about finance because money is important. Then I also make videos about travel like this one that you just clicked on, and we will talk about Victoria Falls as a travel destination, how much you need, and all that jazz. Let's get right into it. In terms of the vibe, with Vic Falls, you create the vibe. Are you there to party? It's a resort town, for crying out loud. It's a resort town. So it could be whatever you want it to be. If you want to go there just for spas, that's okay. If you want to go there for parties, that's okay, but also going to depend on your company. If you want to go there for work, actually many conferences happen in the Victoria Falls. Is the girl that thinks it is. Vic Falls is that girl. However, it's a little bit more expensive than Kariba, so you also have to factor that in. Anyway, now that we're done with what is the vibe of the city, we're going to talk about where to stay. As I've mentioned, Victoria Falls is a resort town. Being a resort town, it has many options for accommodation. When I've been in the Victoria Falls, I've stayed at the Elephant Hills. I've also stayed at Azambezi, but I've also stayed at a number of places whose names I shall not mention. But Vic Falls, Azambezi, I love Azambezi because it is one of the only hotels that is facing the Zambezi River. So every room at Azambezi has a view of the Zambezi River. If I have a video, I'll put here of the view from my room. That was the latest I stayed at. But you can also stay at Vic Falls Rainbow Hotel. I did not like the views from there. I don't rate it. But Azambezi and Elephant Hills is the pools. It just screams luxury. It just screams, come, my child, come to me. And also Elephant Hills is where I met my partner, so it's kind of special to me. But Azambezi is also very good in terms of actually like reviewing a destination accommodation that is there. Unfortunately, because Vic Falls is also very seasonal, there's either people are coming through busy season or people are not coming, so the fares fluctuate. But please use booking.com, Airbnb, or just call Azambezi. Azambezi is part of the Rainbow group, so you can call Rainbow and they'll tell you how exactly to find Azambezi. Given that we've talked about accommodation, please also use Airbnb to find other places that are equally as beautiful, that are self-catering, like this one that I saw on Facebook. And if you just put in Airbnb and you look for a place to stay in Vic Falls, you will not fail to find something that is within your budget and within the range that is comfortable to you. Then after we're done with that, we're going to talk about how to get to Vic Falls. The trick is deciding whether you want to travel by air or by road. As we're talking about getting to the Mosi Tunya, we need to figure out 3 ways of getting there. The first one being flight, the second one being driving, the third one being by bus. The first one, which is flying, if you book your flights quite well in advance using either FastJet or Air Zimbabwe, which are the two airlines that I've used, the cheapest airfare that I've encountered is $340 if you book your flights in advance. However, there is a hidden cost to flying to the Vic Falls. Because with Vic Falls, you need convenience. You need to be able to move from one place to the next place. And for me, it was just, without a car, it's a mess. So you would need to hiring a car that will take you to the airport and also back from the airport on the day that you arrive. Is usually $55 for a small car. You don't really need a big car for the Vic Falls. So you need a small car. It's about $55 a day, and I think they add a 20 or 30 for airport pickup and airport drop offs. So that is a cost that you need to be aware of. However, I need to tell you that the Vic Falls airport is nice. Well, to me, it is nice. Then another way that you can get to the Vic Falls is by driving. By driving, you would need a high performance car because it is quite a long journey. Usually, if you go to the Vic Falls by road, you have to split the journey into two. The first part being to get to Bulawayo, and the second part being coming from Bulawayo into Vic Falls. Now, there are two things with this. You need a good driver, sober driver, because this is the highway. And you cannot just trust everyone else with your life, number one. Number two, not just being sober, but it's also a long drive. So there are issues like fatigue, people being tired, etc. That's why it's very wise to break it down into two parts. There's also the thing of time. It will take you a full day to get from Bulawayo, from Harare to Vic Falls. That part is very not nice. When you are driving. The other thing there is also the road. The road from the point you are towards Lupane up to Vic Falls towards the airport, that road is not nice. So you also have to consider that. So when you're driving, you're going to consider the driver, you're going to consider the fuel cost, because you're going to need a high performance vehicle that will not break down with the 1,000 kilometers that are there between Harare and Vic Falls. So you're going to need to consider that. But on top of it, you may have fun on the road, especially if you have friends like mine who can just create a party everywhere. So you can have fun on the road, just have fun, stop over, have all this fun, make it a trip, make it an event, like make the road trip an event. I don't know how much fuel that would cost. The last time I went to Vic Falls by road is quite a long time ago. So I wouldn't know. I wasn't even driving. I was in other people's cars being driven and stuff. Then the third way that you can go to Vic Falls is by bus. For $35 or $30, you can get a bus that will take you from Harare to Victoria Falls. It's public transport, no liability to you, no need for you to have a high performance vehicle, and it's the cheapest way to get there. However, these buses go there overnight, so you'll be traveling overnight, and I think that's okay because I don't really think there's any activity or something that's special that you'll miss along the road. So the journey to Vic Falls, just think of the journey to Bulawayo multiplied by 2. That is your journey if you're going to be using the road. Let's talk about what happens when you are in Vic Falls. You will never run out of things to do in Vic Falls, and that is for a fact. The one thing that has been on my bucket list for a long time to do has been the helicopter ride, and I finally got to do it this year. The helicopter ride I did with Chikopokopo helicopters. Don't recommend them because they were very mean to me. They were very business-like. They were not really like customized king. I don't recommend them. But others, I don't know. You can find other providers. But then, because there are about 4, I think, companies with helicopters. The pilot was actually quite nice. I'll put a picture here. She was quite nice. But like the people running the business on the ground, they put me into a flight with people that were not even speaking my language. I did not want that. They put me with this family that was speaking a foreign language, which is not bad, but they did not make any effort to interact with me. And I just didn't know. It was just very underwhelming. And I had communicated this before I even booked for this thing. So I'm not recommending them. However, the amount I paid, which is sort of standard in Vic Falls for a helicopter ride, is $175 for 15 minutes. The helicopter will take you over the falls and it will hover on top of the falls, and then you'll be able to see the Zambezi River and the falls and the rainbows. It is quite beautiful to see from above. Although part of me feels like that is not really anything. There's not really anything that you see there that you don't see if you Google the Vic Falls drone view. I don't know if it's worth $175. Anyway, if you want 30 minutes, it's $225. And I do admit, I did this while I was alone. I think if I had a team, if I had people who I could speak to, we could marvel at things together, I think it should have been a way better experience. But Kopo robbed me of it, so cancelled. Then the second activity that I would recommend for anyone to do, which is what I should have started with, is the Victoria Falls rainforest. Where would you be there if you don't go into the rainforest? And trust me, whether you've been in that forest twice or thrice or 5 times or 7 times, that forest is a marvel. And when we went, it was raining, like there was really so much rain everywhere. You can see from this video. It was beautiful. It was the they were saying that it is cleansing people of their sins, like when the waves would come and then the rain would fall on us. It was really nice. It didn't even feel like the actual rain. It was beautiful, the rainbows and everything. And to get in there, you have to bring your passport or your ID to show that you are a local, and then you pay $7, and it's also payable using RTGS. If you're a foreigner, I think it's double, and you don't have the local currency option to pay for the experience to get into the rainforest. Which brings me to the second experience, which is seeing the Vic Falls from the other side. So there is what I want to call the mereki of Vic Falls, where you can go, if you just go up, like on the road, you just go up on that road, there is a place that has been opened by parks where you get to see the Zambezi River as it's flowing into the Victoria Falls. So you get to see the upper part from that side, and you get to touch it, the water. It's quite good. You should try it. You should try it here. They charge $5 per car. They don't charge per person, and they have meat there, so they can buy for you, and you can buy your sadza or play your music or just sit by the water and just enjoy it. They have benches where you can sit, or if you want to actually go into the water, but they say that it's at your own risk. If you find makare there, it's on you. But if you actually go into the water, you actually see like little fish. It's really nice. You should try it. It's just up the falls on that road, like just before you get to the falls, there's a turn to your just before you get to the falls, there's a turn to your left. Take that left and you'll be able to find the place that I'm talking about. I don't know what it's called. It's a viewing point. I don't know what it's called. Then right as we are on that road, what you can also do is you can go and see the big tree. So I'm told that this tree was on our coins, and I think so too. I think I've seen it on our coins. So this is a tree that is 1,500 years old, or more than 1,500 years old, and it is not a dead tree. This tree is very much alive, and you get to take, usually people just go there and take pictures. There's no entrance fees. You're not going anywhere. You're just going to see they call it the big tree. So you can just go and see the big tree. So we're done with the full side. Then the other thing that she can do is to have food at the Lookout Cafe. Watch for yourself. Prices are actually reasonable. They're just the same Harare prices, and they make these beautiful cocktails that go together with the view. Like if you want to take a picture, because you get to see the gorge. Is it called the gorge? Like the river down, and so you'll be able to see, and you also get to be overseeing people that are doing bungee jumping. Please do not go away without going to see to have a meal at the Lookout Cafe. It's gorgeous, it's bougie, it gives rich money, it gives rich aunt vibes. I mean, so please make sure you go there and take a lot of pictures as well. The food was nice. I had breakfast, which then turned into drinks, but because I couldn't pass up the opportunity to have a drink there, and I think my total cost was actually like $16 for this food. The tea and the breakfast and the cocktails. It was about $16-17, somewhere around that figure. Then while we're at Lookout Cafe, I did mention that you're overlooking people who are doing bungee jumping and ziplining. Go and do the bungee jumping or the ziplining. I have not done the bungee jumping because my soul just doesn't sit well with it. I just feel like once I'm down there, the ancestors are just going to say, our child, welcome home, and just grab me from that river. So I have not done bungee jumping, but my best friend and I, Hope, we have done the zip line. We did it together. They give you a GoPro, so you literally take videos and pictures of yourself as you go, as you zip line across the Zambezi River, which was nice. It was fun. It was adrenaline inducing. Please do it. So when you do it, you pay through sheer water, I think, and then you go across the bridge. You literally walk across the bridge to the other side, and then they take you from there. Then you zip line your way back to the Zim side. How is that for an activity? Then the other activity I want to talk to you about is we have once talked about the boat cruises in Caribbean. Please go on the Pure Africa dinner cruise. Goodness. I've been transitioning from my old life to my new life, but there's nothing that says I have arrived. Is that Pure Africa dinner cruise. Guys, you get in, it's open bar. There are wines, whiskeys, gin, whatever you want, Coke, Fanta, juices. It's literally open bar, and it has two decks. So there's the lower deck and the upper deck. So you literally can sit where you want, but you need to book. Then they offer you a 3-course meal, and it's for 2 hours because it's for 3 hours because I think it leaves around 5, and then it comes back to dock or to the harbor at 8 p.m. Look at these videos and the pictures I was taken from there. It's absolutely nice, and the cost is about $95 or $100 per person for you to be able to enjoy the Pure Africa dinner cruise or dinner whatever they call it. It's really, really nice, guys, especially if you have people with you. You know, the watch, it's calming. So there's the boat cruise of Caribbean, which is fun, like music blasting, what. No, that is nice. It's a different vibe from the Pure African. The Pure Africa it's old money. Let's do this softly, quietly. It's really nice. And then at the end they have this performance that they do for you, like my time, let me just let you watch this. So that's the closing performance, and it's really, really nice. I 100% recommend it. Then would you say you have been in Zimbabwe if you don't go on a safari game drive? So in Vic Falls, you don't necessarily need to actually pay for your game drive, because like on this day I was on my way to the helicopter ride, and this is what I saw. Like literally 2 elephants were blocking the road, and then they moved out of the road, and this is what I saw. So I was literally on a bank, on a boat, on a game drive. So there are actually quite some animals to see. So you can book a game drive, and game drives are like $50 per person, and you can do like as a sunset game drive or like a morning game drive. It's really up to you. Then there are these activities that are in Vic Falls that most people don't get to do, but I think could be fun to do, which is number 1, the elephant rides. So you can, if you go just after Zambezi, there's a company. If I remember the name, I'll tell you. There's a company right after Zambezi going down. There's a company that does elephant rides and lion walks. So the elephant rides is you literally go on top of an elephant, like I did here. Well, this was many years ago, but you can still do it. So you literally get on top of an elephant like this. You go right around the Vic Falls, there's a little forest. You go into the forest with the elephant and its instructor. It can go and it can drink water. You can see zebras there. Is that drinking water? And then you get on top of it. You go back to are there stubbles? I don't know, wherever the elephants stay. And then you can feed the elephants as well, as I did in this picture. I hope I will find the picture. But yes, you can also feed the elephant. It's $225 per person, and I think it's totally worth it. Then the other experience you can also have in Victoria Falls is the lion walk. The lion walk is where you go. It's far and wide. Is it far and wide, or it's sheer water? I'll find out, and I'll just put it in the video captions. So you literally go on a walk with lions. They give you a stick and you walk with the lions, like I did here. And this lion is not tamed to say it doesn't eat meat. It does eat meat, just doesn't eat humans. So if you're like, it can actually go hunting while you're on a lion walk, like it did with me. My friends don't believe this story, but it happened. It happened. So it's a lion walk. It's also $225 if I'm not mistaken, and you literally go there the whole afternoon. You go in the afternoon, and they, out of all these things, they will offer to take videos and pictures for you. If I tell you for the helicopter ride, they wanted me to pay $40, I would have paid it, except that in that video, there was this family that I don't know about, and I don't know what they were saying about me when we were in that helicopter ride, and they were the only people featuring in there. My only feature was when I was probably, I don't know, like 1 second. So there was no point in me paying for it. And so they do this whether it's an elephant ride, whether it's a lion walk, in the helicopters, they take pictures of you. They offer to take pictures of you, and you always then pay a little premium for them. Even on the bungees, you actually get a GoPro, and they pay for you. Then the other activities that you can do in Vic Falls, you can cross over to the Zambian side and go into Livingstone. The people who like to party always go into Livingstone. Apparently it's fun there. I've never been, so I don't know. But apparently there's a Radisson Blue. There's a new Radisson Blue hotel, and people go there to have fun. Then the other experience that you cannot leave the Victoria Falls without doing is the boma dinner. I've had African food. Beef and everything, but let me tell you categorically, the boma dinner is an experience. It is not just dinner. So it's buffet food is buffet. You get to eat. There's a lot of variety in Zungunimo, everything. Then there's this part where you actually choose the meat, eat it raw, then they make it to your liking and to your taste. Then there's a part during the dinner where everybody gets a little drum, and then you start beating the drum, and then there's a performance, like the people who come, like the traditional dancers sing, and you can go and dance, and then you can also try to beat the drums like this. Just listen to this. This is an experience. It's like nothing I've had to experience before. Like, listen. And then after the drum show, you then also can just go and dance. You make a circle, and everybody will be dancing. Like, you know, when you're done dancing, you grab someone in, you know, to do that. Then on top of all this, you can get from your hotel spas. You can do spas. What else is there in the Vic Falls that I have not mentioned? Oh yeah, if you want like the boat cruises in Kariba where there is music, those are also there. Like where it's like a party bus, those are also there. But there is quite a lot. And then if you like nightlife, there is Cotton. There's a club called Cotton. It's fun. It's really fun. When they during the carnival time, and it was really, really, really good. And then you can also swim in the pools at your given hotels. But there's quite a lot that you can get to do in Vic Falls. I think as for today, I'll stop here. I'll not give you my total cost for when I was in Vic Falls, because there's just a lot of things to do. And there's a pro tip. I think it's, if you have friends with cars in good condition, it's a good experience to drive to Vic Falls, but it will just be draining. Number one. Number two, don't plan to go and do everything of Vic Falls, because you then run out of ways to enjoy those things because you'll be tired. Just go and have fun. do the things that you can do at that time and leave the rest for next time. There are a lot of other things that you can do in Vic Falls. And then in terms of supplies and fuel and all that, Vic Falls is a resort town, so it is a town on its own. They have a Pick and Pay, they have an OK Mart. You'll find most of the supplies that you need within the town, even the fuel as well. You'll find the supplies that you need within the town. The Pick and Pay and the OKs are the ones that I recommend you to buy from, because they'll still have the Harare prices. All the other stores have like the resort town prices, so you may be shortchanged there. But also don't forget to take a picture at the Welcome to Vic Falls sign as you walk into the rainforest. I think that's about it with Victoria Falls. Let me know if you intend to visit Victoria Falls, or if you think I can help with planning your trip in any way. I'll be more than happy to. So Vic Falls leaves the baton to Masvingo. We are going to be talking about visiting Masvingo next time, so stay tuned and stay on the channel. Thank you so much for staying up to this part. Click subscribe and share this content with any people that you know who are planning to go to Vic Falls. Thank you so much, and bye.